Have you ever dreamt of changing your life, becoming the best version of yourself, but something just keeps holding you back? For me, that thing was alcohol, so I asked myself, what was the number one thing that kept me drinking for years? And the first thing that came to my mind was my social life. I was terrified of losing it, and I couldn't pull myself away from the excitement. But it was only after the constant chaos and drama that I finally said, enough is enough. I realized that my life was going nowhere. At first, I thought that alcohol was giving me a social life. But the truth is, it started making me antisocial. I drink, then I'd take cocaine, and then I would find it hard to talk to anyone. I'd isolate myself, stuck in my own head, paranoid, and what felt like fun turned into sitting in the corner, pretending to everyone that I was okay. But inside, I was empty, feeling anxious, depressed, and I was disconnected from everyone. That's the irony, isn't it? You start off by drinking to feel connected to people, but it eventually ends up disconnecting you from everyone, including yourself. Until one day, you look in the mirror and you hate what you see. And I probably shouldn't tell you this because honestly, it's quite embarrassing. Because if it helps somebody, what the hell? Here we go. So I remember when I first moved to Australia, I used to drink with my girlfriend. We would drink like on a Friday or a Saturday after work. And I would usually gravitate to, as soon as I had one drink, I would just be on the phone and I would be trying to pick up cocaine. Just a quick one, guys. I am giving you free access to my 7-day sober course for a limited time only. I'll leave the link below in the description. Check it out. At the time, it was me and my girlfriend living with another Aussie couple. We lived in Sydney and we lived in a place called Coogee, and literally our apartment was up this hill. You'd literally walk like 5 minutes and you'd have the beach. It was an amazing spot. Life looked good on the outside. It was a new start, living in the sun. From someone who'd come from the UK to Australia at the age of like 29, it was just like, oh my God, this is the dream life. But the problem was I was still drinking and I was still taking drugs. As I said, we'd start drinking together, and every time I'd have 1 or 2 drinks, I would get the urge to ring and pick up. There was this one night when I went to go pick up off this Irish guy. I can't remember what he was called, but he was this big, tall, shady-looking guy, and he used to wear like this GAA Gaelic football top. And he used to call me lad. That's all I can remember about him. Anyway, I'd always meet him down by the beach. So I got the coke. And honestly, I can't believe I actually used to live like this. I can't believe I'm telling you the story. So I got the coke, did a little bit of a key. For those who don't know what a key is, you get the bag of cocaine and you get the key and you put it in and you just take a little bit of a bump and it gives you a little bit of a bump. Anyway, I'm walking back up that hill to my house. It's literally only a 5-minute walk and I'm keying this cocaine and I start to feel paranoid. Bearing in mind, I just moved to Australia. I'd lied on my visa. I had a criminal record. So if I was to get caught with drugs or go to court, I would literally just be out of the country. I'd just got a girlfriend. I'd moved into an apartment. I'd sold all my stuff back home. I'd sold my car. I had nowhere to live. So if you can imagine me getting arrested and getting deported, that would just be like the end of my life. So I'm walking up the hill. And then all of a sudden, I just get really paranoid and I think that someone's following me. So I start like, you know, when you start like jogging, when you're a kid and you're like running from ghosts or you're running in the dark, as soon as you start moving, you start feeling like someone's chasing you. So I remember going up this hill thinking, oh, maybe someone's like chasing me. I must have heard like sirens or something. So anyway, our apartment block is like, it's got like these garages underneath where you keep the car. So I'm like, right, I'm just going to just run into my garage. So I run into my garage, pull the thing down. I can't find the light. So I'm sitting on the floor and then I hear like footsteps and I'm thinking to myself, maybe the police are outside. Maybe they saw me pick up and they followed me up the hill and they're looking for me. I ended up laying flat on my stomach. I'm just laying there, paranoid. I've had a couple of keys of coke. I've been drinking and I'm like looking under the door. And I can see like light flickering. It must be because I'm like moving my head at different angles and it looks like the light's cutting out. And I'm thinking like people are walking past. There's like footsteps. So anyway, I spent like an hour there. My girlfriend's ringing me. My phone's on silent. And I'm just convinced there's someone looking for me outside. Anyway, long story short, I think, right, I better get up. So I go back upstairs to the apartment and they're like, where have you been? And my girlfriend's like, I've been ringing you, texting you. So I tell them, I say, look, I thought someone was following me. So I was laying on my belly in the garage. And I thought it was quite funny at the time. And they just looked at me like, you're an idiot. And the truth was, I was an idiot. That was one of the moments where I realized to myself, this isn't fun anymore. This isn't a laugh. This is just me completely out of control. And honestly, that was one of the moments that actually led me to quitting. So this is the turning point. If you're watching this video and you're still thinking about quitting alcohol, drugs, both, whatever, ask yourself, if you keep living like this, what actually happens? Because the truth is, you cannot escape the life that you hate if you keep numbing yourself. The fear is, what if I quit and my life gets boring? The real fear is, what if you don't quit and nothing changes? At some point, you're going to have to say to yourself, right, I'm going to make a call on this. You have to say, I am done. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care how boring it gets. I am done and I am changing. I'll be honest with you, the first few months, they're going to feel boring. You're going to feel uncomfortable and it's probably going to become a little bit lonely. But I'm actually today 5 years sober. This isn't part of the video, but I am 5 years sober. And I want to just tell you that that pain is only temporary. But the regret of staying stuck, that lasts forever. So ask yourself, would you rather go 90 days, 6 months of discomfort? Or would you rather burn another 10 years away of regret? Because the reality is, if you can handle just 1 year of hard work, you can give yourself decades of peace. So what happens when you quit? So I'm going to show you some visuals of my app on here, which shows you the benefits of quitting. So far, I am 5 years sober as of today. Money saved is £26,000 and 1,826 hours in time that I have saved. That is not including energy. That is thousands of hours of my life not feeling hungover, living with purpose and clarity. And the best part is, it's not just about money and time. It's when you quit alcohol or drugs, your life gets better, you feel better, you look better, you think better. People treat you better. You start showing up differently in work and relationships. Even in the mirror, you stop pretending to be confident and you actually look at yourself, you look at your body and you think, I like who I am. And that reflects in your day-to-day life. And that's when people will start to notice and they'll say, you've changed. I bloody hope so. But this time, it's a good thing. Because when you get sober, you don't just get sober, you get your life back. You rebuild your self-respect. You attract better people. You make better decisions. Your energy, focus, happiness, it all compounds. Until one day you'll wake up and you realize, I don't even miss my old life anymore. Because this time you've built something better, something real. Most people think that quitting alcohol means giving something up. But what you're really doing, you are making space for better health, better opportunities, and creating a version of yourself that you never thought in the past would have been possible. The real risk isn't actually quitting, it's about being in the same position 10 years from now. And for me, I couldn't think of anything worse. And here's the truth, you don't need another hangover. You don't need to hit rock bottom. You just need to make one decision today to make a change on your life. Because 5 years from now, you could wake up being proud of who you are. Like I say, I'm 5 years sober today. I'm running my own business. I'm happy with who I am. I'm in good shape. I'm healthy. I'm clear-minded. And I certainly have no regrets about that one decision I made 5 years ago. And I always say, no cravings, no problem. And I have a full video that you can watch here.